On today's Sunday Drive, it's Silverleaf and Silverleaf Reserve. Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Happy 2023.
Yay.
Who's excited?
I'm raising the roof. You raised the roof at the same time.
I did. It's because we're old.
Happy 1998, everybody. Raise the roof.
We raised the roof. So good morning or afternoon. Or, you know what?
Whatever,
we don't know how you're feeling right now.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are probably still sleeping through this or hungover through this. But do you want to talk about how we don't celebrate? Or do you want to cheers first to the new year?
Cheers. We're starting the year with a Diet Coke. We just went to the McDonald's in Hamlin. And, well, I mean, we can discuss that, but there's really no discussion. It's just we're old and we don't do anything.
But I don't think I ever have been. So here's the thing. When other crazies are out partying and drinking and celebrating and driving, I tend to just hunker down in my house. I don't really feel the need or the desire to go out. That's just me personally. Not a real big social event type of a person. Plus, we have to take care of our dogs because of the freaking fireworks.
Well, for me, the new year marks the inevitable march toward the end, toward the black bleakness that is the end of everything. And so, Happy New Year.
Wow.
It's a very Nordic.
Yeah. Do you want me to go to this way?
So we're going to Silverleaf today because
we have a new plan.
It's
lovely Sunday
Let's call it
drives.
a resolution.
A resolution?
Well, I mean, no, it's not even a plan. This is what Sunday Drive always was meant to be, which is to take you to the neighborhoods here in what we call Disney's backyard, we drive around, and sometimes we're like, we got to go to Sunday Drive, So full disclosure, sometimes we just we're like, hey, we got to go do Sunday Drive. So, but we're going to be very much more thoughtful about the Sunday Drives in 2023.
Add it to the calendar, add it to the list.
Yes, and we're going to go to neighborhoods because that's what you want to see. You want to see how the area is growing, and we've got a lot of different things today as we talk about Silverleaf, and we're going to always tell you how far it is to the airport, how far it is to the nearest Publix, how far it is to get a Diet Coke, how far it is to Disney, those kind of things.
Priorities.
Where the hospital is nearby.
Yeah, hospitals are.
So this is Silverleaf, and that's where we're going.
Yeah.
But we felt like we need to sort of refocus this because as the number one real estate driving podcast in Western Orlando, my joke for this time of year is everyone is like, this is when they're like, we're number one. You gotta go that way, right? Yeah. Oh no, sorry, my bad.
Let me drive.
Okay, yeah, good plan. By the way, Osteopathic Medical College up ahead of us. That's what that big building is.
Some really cool and exciting things coming.
Yeah, but what I was saying is this is the time of year where everyone in real estate is like, we're number one in this or this or this or this. They try to, which is good. That's great marketing. I would just like to take one quick moment before we get to Silverleaf to say, she didn't like when I talk about it. You're number one. You are literally the number one realtor in this zip code, 34787, which is where Horizon West is, what we call Disney's backyard.
Thank you for that.
Well, yeah, you didn't do anything, but oh, you meant thank them. Thank me. That's a joke. No. So we're coming up to Silverleaf, but I'd just like to say that helped more than 100 families this year buy or sell homes here in Orlando. And specifically in what we call Disney's backyard, 34787 Horizon West Winter Garden. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to say that and applaud you. Good job. So Silverleaf and Silverleaf Reserve. Tell me all about it.
So, all right. So Silverleaf, this is basically it's another section, another village type area in the Hamlin village. Right?
This is still in town center. This is Hamlin.
So, so this Horizon West area it's basically comprised of several different villages. But let's just talk about this specific community. Now, we have driven through here before, but we're going to be a little bit more diligent with it. I mean, I will say there's progress. There is progress, although there's still not a heck of a lot to see. But we have Hamlin Middle and Hamlin Elementary schools that are right here. Hamlin Middle School is the first one you're going to see right here on your right. Obviously, it's New Year's Day, so everything is closed.
And you're supposed to, when you pass there, go, arr, because they're the coyotes.
Yes.
I just made that up. I don't know if they do that. They should.
They should. That'd be cool. Yeah. So Hamlin Middle School. Then you have Hamlin Elementary, and they are the Huskies.
Yay.
Super cute. Love that little mascot. So these two schools are here. Now, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, but we did pass a stoplight right back there, like it's right here in front of the schools, which is really, really helpful for the traffic pattern. And I say traffic pattern because, as a reminder, in Florida, if you live within 2 miles of the school as the crow flies, they do not provide transportation.
And by the way, go up here and take a right. No, go to drop off. Yeah, because this is how drop. I think drop off may go through there. No, it says not there.
Well,
so, yeah.
So
we'll do drop off first.
Okay. So you interrupted again.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, but my
within 2 miles.
So they do not provide bus transportation. So that means you're going to have to walk or parent drop off, parent pickup. And that is something that is, it's kind of a culture shock for a lot of people, including us when we moved from Virginia, to think, I have to let my kids walk to school? Are you cuckoo crazy? Yeah, you know what? I think they are sometimes. Kids are riding their bikes, they're riding their scooters, they're walking. Obviously, the elementary school kids, typically the parents are walking or riding bikes and scootering with them.
Go for it. Go in.
I am. I'm trying to go slowly so that they can see everything and take it in.
So this is parent pickup. This is how you drop off your kids and pick them up.
So at any rate, that is something that is kind of important to note, that you drop off your kids, you pick them up, or they walk to and from school. Or there is bus transportation. It just depends on where they live. And sometimes, like where we lived before, we did live within the 2 mile as the crow flies distance, but there was not a safe sidewalk passage, in which case, obviously, the county provides bus transportation. So
this is well done, by the way.
It is very well done.
Nice.
They've done a good job with kind of the how you drop off, how you pick up, and you'll have little tags that kind of hang from your car. I mean, it's the schools, they really have this down to a very, very efficient system.
You know who's not efficient?
The parents.
The 2 hour early parent that sits out front.
Well, and in some cases it's very frustrating because they'll stop way too soon. They'll be there 2 hours before school lets out, and they start to back up traffic along the road. Now, that's one of the reasons that this community is really well done, because you are able to really kind of
there's a long way through there.
Keep it flowing, so there should be a lot of cars that are just kind of in transition. At any rate.
Wait, that says Hamlin Coyotes. Do we have it reversed? Is middle school the Huskies and they're the Coyotes? I think that maybe they just had the wrong bench. The benches said Coyotes. I'll put it on the screen. Well, I'll figure it out. But
I'm going to go loop around?
No, the bench definitely said Coyotes, but this is Hamlin Elementary. Oh, you know what? That's what it is. This is parent pickup for both. Yeah. Oh, that's so smart.
That's the elementary and that's the middle. It's like,
look at smarter people than me. I mean, it's not hard to find, but I'm just saying that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's Hamlin and Hamlin.
Yeah. So one other thing, and then we're going to get to the actual homes and the builder and the community and stuff like that. But just one thing as a reminder that this is different here in Florida, that you may have it in the state that you live in, not sure, but every Wednesday the schools get out 1 hour earlier, which is going to drastically affect the parent pickup and drop off timeline. If you are a stay-at-home or a work-at-home parent that has, or caregiver that has the ability and flexibility to come and go as you please during the day, that's great. But if you are someone who works outside of the home and you live within that 2 mile radius, or 2 mile as the crow flies, these are just things you need to be aware of. And that was something that was really weird to me when we first moved here. It seems like it made it very, very difficult for us to... is that on fire? Like,
no.
Do you see that's burned?
Oh, that is burned. Look at that.
There's a whole...
Yeah, they pulled it off, too. The whole thing was... That was a fire there. That's awful.
Crazy.
So we're at the corner of Silver Grove Boulevard and Citrus Leaf Boulevard. Where we're going here, so this is lots 1 through 11. We know that because 11 is the one that's built the most. And wow, that definitely caught fire. Look at that.
So I was like, I saw the smoky soot stuff.
Me so sad.
That is terribly sad. So what I wanted to point out, though, I don't know if I can go back here.
Go for it.
Oh, should I go left?
Yeah, we'll give it a shot.
So these are, to my left, okay, these are the rear entry garage style homes. Okay, they're bungalows. So Meritage, by the way, Meritage is the builder here in Silverleaf Reserve. I do not work for or represent the builder, but I can tell you what I know. So they have 2 different types of homes here in this particular community. The bungalows, which are the rear entry garage style homes, and the traditional single family homes. Of the single family homes, they only have one that is a true 1-story. That 1-story is the Alcott, and it does have the ability to have a bonus room on it. So if you want to make that 1-story a 2-story, you can. But all of the other floor plans are 2 stories, and they are going to be having their model home is going to be the Thoreau. But the Hayden seems to be the most popular floor plan. So there will be a Hayden under construction in here relatively soon. And so we are going to do a tour of that Hayden here in this community, even though it is not technically a model, but we'll do that so that we can show you.
Are people showing up now to see that this
that their house burned
up?
No,
I mean, they clearly moved this, so this has been dealt with.
Yeah.
But
so you want me to go down the road?
Yeah, go down the road and just kind of don't.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year.
So and these homes are sold. These homes are these are the homes that were sold on the first day.
Yes, and in that first release, absolutely. So these homes, again, home sites 1 through 11-ish have started.
Yeah.
Others have been staked out and are getting ready to go vertical, as they say. Now, these particular home sites are quite lovely. If you can see out this camera, you can see that it backs up to some dry retention, some wet pond. And
then cows.
And then cows. And then clear across that way, that will eventually, some of that will be developed as well.
Yeah, this is everything you see that's dirt. Everything the light touches right now, to use our Disney term, is Silverleaf. So Silverleaf curves all around there and goes to the front, and it goes as far back here as the county line.
And that's Seidel that's over, or not Seidel, Schofield?
Schofield kind of runs back there, and the big highway connector will be up there. Mm-hmm. It's not there yet, and it'll be a little bit in the distance.
Where do you want me to go from here, babe?
Well, just kind of go down there. You can go down.
Go down?
We're good.
Yeah, so this is really fun because this is the beginning of a community. You can see they're still doing the infrastructure, the sewer, the cable, the electric. All of this stuff is still, the road is here, but it's not officially paved. They're getting there.
Got some, what would you call that, Amy?
Gator water.
That's gator water right there. I don't know where you're from, but that's gator water.
That's a major gator water.
That's major gator water. So also, there you can see we said cows. There's a working farm with tractors and the whole thing.
I'm gonna have to turn around.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. But the
Ooh.
And that's not for me the ideal view, but they were here first. So there's a road back there.
Obviously, this road continues, but it does not for us, my friend.
So there's a road, Lake Ingraham Road, and a long time ago we took you up. We drove you kind of over there where the road ends. We kind of pulled in here and saw the tractors moving this dirt. But if you look out to the right here, so everything you see that's dirt, where you see the osteopathic medical college, that building that's going up. So that's going to be kind of a campus feel, and but over to the other side of it is still going to be Silverleaf. So this is Silverleaf Reserve, which is the Meritage part. And so, Amy, how many homes total in Silverleaf total?
2,400.
It's close to that, I think. Yeah. So single
and that's
families,
the single family homes, and then
1,200 single family, 1,100 multifamily.
Okay.
We always get that crossed up. The total is 2,400.
Gotcha.
1,200 single family, meaning bungalows and front load garage. And the street we drove down is all front load.
Yes.
But we can go up there. They have it staked out for all of the bungalows, so we can go up there too.
Yeah.
But you see, this is exciting. So what are we seeing here?
So what you're seeing are these home sites. Again, so in front of us, you can see that beautiful 2-story that's up in front of us. That is, again, those first couple of homes well under construction. So they continue to move down the road and continue that construction. So these home sites now are the next set to go vertical. So right now, all they've done is staked it out. So you can see all of the sticks in the ground with their corresponding flags. All of these are staked out relatively soon. You're going to start to see the footers and be a little bit more staked out more definitively. Then you're going to start to see the foundation, and then you're going to start to see things go vertical. So really, really nice. It's nice to see the progress because
I can see on one stake it says lot corner. So that kind of tells you
that's the right
corner.
Property line. Yep.
One thing, you also see the no parking on this. So most communities now have no parking on one side of the street or the other.
Which is good.
It's something to think about when you're looking at lots.
Yes.
Because this means no one's going to park in front of your house on this side, but they'll park on the other side.
Now, this is front loads as well, yes?
Is it? No, I don't think so.
No?
No, I think the hill goes up. And so I think it's single, because we can drive up there.
There's not a road there, though.
There's not a road, so I'm saying these are single families facing this way.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Okay, no, that's what I was saying. Yes.
I'm sorry,
yes.
I thought you said
no. So garage and garage of fronts of here. Good.
That's good. See, there's no stakes there, so this is a little open area right here. So whoever's got lots here has got kind of no side neighbor.
Right, that's fantastic.
So that's awesome. And look at that view, it's beautiful.
Nice view. Fantastic. That's beautiful. Yeah,
and that blue one in the middle is that center of the lot.
Center of the home site.
And so if I see stakes, does that mean does that mean that it's permitted?
Well, sorry. I hit something. What did I just say?
Air conditioner seat.
Oh my gosh.
So this is the thing.
Hold on.
My wife is not good at the whole...
I had the buttons. I just realized that I have a heated steering wheel
Yeah,
by accidentally hitting a button. Anyway, so it means that things are coming out of permitting and they are getting ready to break ground, which means that anyone that has these home sites within the next little bit should be getting communication from the builder about their pre-construction meeting or their pre-con meeting with the builder. And if you want, we could talk a little bit about what a pre-construction meeting is.
We should. Let's keep going. And go up to the top of the hill and see what roads we can get on.
So a pre-construction meeting, I always say it's a really like an introduction meeting. If you live out of state or out of town, is it required that you come in town for it? No, because you're really typically meeting at the sales model home anyway, and just sitting and talking to the builder.
And the builder in this case is Andre, by the way. He's on the sign.
On all of them?
2 of them.
Yeah, because they don't. There's more than one builder.
Yeah, but those 2 were Andre.
Yeah, this is sad.
That's very sad.
What happened? Lightning strike?
It could be a lightning strike. It could be something left on. It could be hijinks and ballyhoo. I don't know. It's the new year. I'm going to use better vocabulary. Wow. I'm going to use more better words in the new year. Yeah.
All right, so we're.
So this is a row, by the way, of bungalows, and this is probably the model, yeah.
Well, that's where we just drove. That's what I just mentioned.
No, I know, but I thought maybe they'd have a bungalow model.
They do have a bungalow model.
Guessing.
They do, yes. They're going to have models right here.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. All right, you want me to go this way, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see the streets.
So the pre-construction meeting, it is not 100% required that you come in town for that. That can be done virtually. You can FaceTime it. You can Zoom it. You can just phone call it. We did that when we moved from Virginia. So if that many years ago we were able to do it technically and technologically speaking that way, certainly now that is an easy possibility. And that's not to diminish the importance of that pre-construction meeting at all. It just means that is essentially the time where you sit with the builder. We're stuck.
Okay, you can stop for a second.
I will. So that's just an opportunity for you to talk to the builder, for him or her to introduce themselves to you, to basically say, look, because I mean, remember, this builder did not have any communication with you or any contact with you or any role in your picking and choosing of the community of your home site, design options, structural options, elevations, none of that. So they take their papers and they're going to flip through everything that contractually you have already signed. And basically, I like to say it's an introduction and confirmation meeting. And they're going to say, okay, we're building you the Alcott floor plan, no bonus room, these are your structurals, this is your home site, this is the elevation. And then they go through the design options, although it's funny because the design options, nobody knows, like a crew, dandy, but can I go back? 432. Yeah, okay, whatever. I guess I chose that.
Can I go back one step? When you contract, you're there with the sales representative, and they write in all the stuff.
Yes.
So that pre-construction is kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, to sort of make sure that everything, that your expectations got written on the paper, and it translated to the plan. Because they're writing it on the contract, they're not writing it on a plan. The builder has the plan.
Well, the builder has the blueprints at this point. And there are a lot of times, like let's use the example of a floor outlet.
Let's use that.
Okay. So if you choose a floor outlet in your, because a lot of times it's a line item, right? Do you want a floor outlet in your great room? Yes, okay. But you haven't chosen an actual location for it.
Right.
Well, a floor outlet is imperative to be placed correctly from the beginning because that is on your first floor and that is into the ground. So if they just
through the concrete, through the slab.
They can't just move it. It's not like it's in the wall space where they could move it at the pre-drywall stage if necessary. It has to be done exactly. So many times I've been at a pre-construction meeting and then the builder and my clients and myself literally get up, we go walk to the home site or we walk to the model if they're building one of the models, and we kind of judge where they want to have that floor outlet located. But otherwise, it is exactly what you said. They've got the blueprints. They want to make sure that the electrical matches up, if you added recessed lights, that those are reflected on the electrical blueprint. If you added a pre-plumb or an actual laundry sink in the laundry room or in the garage, that is shown on the plan as well. So, and I will say, many times we have caught things that were not where they needed to be. So it is important. So again, I'm not diminishing the importance of a pre-construction meeting, but I will say that if you live out of state and travel is
it's Lime Ricky Alley.
If travel is a challenge for you, then don't come to the pre-construction meeting, but make sure you come in town for your pre-drywall and most definitely your new homeowner orientation when the home is complete. But at any rate, if you're my client, we'll talk more about that, as we go through that part of the process.
Go down there, we'll probably have to turn around, but so
we do, because it's
the pre-construction meeting is one. That's one of the reasons sometimes people say, "Do you need a realtor to purchase new construction?" Well, the answer is no. You don't need a realtor, but you probably want one. And I mean, again,
do you know how many of those I've done for or with my clients and caught things? So, we just had one the other day, and it was confirmation. I'm like, I don't see on here that you have the higher baseboards. Do you have that on your thing? And then they went back, and he did, but he missed over it when he was going through the thing. So it's just kind of that extra confirmation.
Just stop right here so we can
beautiful.
Look over the. By the way, I flippin' love Silverleaf. I haven't been back here to see this, but look at this.
This is gorgeous.
That's a vista.
The view will definitely change as
there's going to be a big road through there. But I think it's over that hill even, so you may not even see it. And 429 is way off in the distance.
Yeah,
there's the nice water and just you got some elevation here. It's nice. But I want to go back to one thing.
Sure.
Because I want to because I want to talk about this because I'm like you can stay there if you want.
Oh, okay.
So do you need a realtor for this or that or whatever? I want you to tell me a story about the thing that you're most proud about in the history of your working in with helping people out.
Oh, the one that just happened?
And let me just say, this is not typical.
No.
But also, I'm going to say, personally, in my opinion, it was not possible unless it was you or one of very few realtors. So when you say, why do I need a realtor for new construction? Tell me about what happened.
Okay.
Because you know what I'm talking about, because it was a big deal.
It was a very big deal. So I had a lovely family. They were building from dirt. Okay, so they were going through the whole long build process from out of state. They very early on in the process, they were pre-approved. Okay, so they were I'm just giving you a quick version. They were pre-approved with my lender for a specific amount. Then they decided to go new construction. And not say my lender, I'm like just an outside lender. So for those of you that don't know how to get pre-approved, I'll always give you a couple of referrals. You can reach out to any of those lenders, get your pre-approval. So
we don't get anything for it.
No. So we get a price point, so we know where we can start looking, how much shopping we can do. And there was a specific amount. They found that they really wanted to do new construction, a beautiful community, great builder, great floor plan. It was perfect for them, but it was a little bit above where they had actually been approved. But the builder's preferred lender, their in-house lender, approved them for that amount. So we were already at the tip top of their pre-approval
that's the technical
amount.
Real estate term.
That is the technical real. You can look it up in my dictionarium of wordology.
Yes.
But the reality is they were already at a high point of their debt to income ratio, and whether or not that was going to be a good price point. Okay. They immediately end the process. Maybe they hadn't even broken ground. It took forever for it to get permitted. Before they broke ground, there was a situation with his employer. The employer, or the company that he was employed with, was being acquired by another company. His position was in jeopardy. His salary was in jeopardy. His ability to be promoted, which is what he was in line for, was now in jeopardy. Meanwhile, interest rates are doing this. So he's getting a double whammy. He's getting the whammy from his employment aspect, and he's getting the whammy from the interest rates rising. Okay, so we reached out very early on requesting to cancel this contract and said, we feel like by the time this is said and done, I'm getting chilly bumps because it's just such an emotional thing, that we said very early, communicating with the builder. By the way, it is imperative that when things are happening that you communicate with the builder. Please do that. Don't be afraid to do that, because it is the recourse that gave us the leverage that I needed to have this conversation with the high up person. Anyway, we communicated. We feel like there's going to be a problem. This is happening with his employment. We feel like we may have to cancel. Now, keep in mind, to the builder's defense, everybody's thinking they're going to have to cancel right now. So they're getting this left and right from everybody.
And also,
to start
in
to
the builder's defense, they don't have to care.
No, they don't have to care. In most cases, they don't.
This is their business. And so, the end of this story is about good graces of a particular company and person. Okay.
So when we requested to cancel, we were told, well, our lender has not said that you don't qualify yet. Therefore, we're not issuing any cancellation or releases. Or if you do cancel, you're just forfeiting your $40,000 earnest money deposit.
Yeah.
$40,000 earnest money deposit. I don't know about you, but that's a heck of a lot of money.
Especially when you're worried about there's an employment concern,
you already know that your
stuff.
employment is in jeopardy. So they said no go. So we're like, well, our only option is to keep going and cross our fingers and pray. So that's what we did all the way through the process. Well, wouldn't you know, at the very end of the process, home is built. They've chosen everything. They now, even the builder's lender says, you know what, you're right. You don't qualify. So we're going to cancel the contract, but we're keeping your earnest money deposit because contractually we can.
And they're correct.
And they are correct. So they kept their earnest money deposit. Now, here's the trigger. I knew this was happening. Not every realtor knew this was happening. Coincidentally, I had some cash buyers that were in town looking for a home that honestly fit what this home was. It was kind of a perfect mesh. And so we were able to get these new clients. We toured lots of homes, by the way. In fact, at one point they said, yeah, we saw it. We want to move on, look at some other houses. And then eventually they came back to it like, you know what? Yeah, that is the perfect house for us. So I was like, okay, so we're going to get the earnest money deposit back now? And they're like, no, still no earnest money deposit back. Because ultimately, I kind of saved the deal, right? I had clients that came in. Well, I didn't. My clients did. Yeah. They wanted a home. It just so happened that they were cash buyers, so they could still close quickly by the end of the fiscal year. It was no detriment to the builder whatsoever. They got this. They closed on the same time. They got the same amount of money. They didn't lose anything in the deal, except that they also gained an extra $40,000 because they weren't refunding my initial client's earnest money deposit.
And it's the end of the year.
Right.
Like this is a publicly traded company that wants to show as much profit as they can. And the individuals involved, like, they have rules. Yeah. So the local site agent didn't really have anything they could do. No,
they've got their limited, authority. And I had sent an email before and hoping it would get passed on down the line. And finally I was like, we were all kind of resigned to the fact that, okay, well, they canceled a month earlier, a month is passing. And it didn't sit right with me. So finally I was like, I can't do this. I absolutely cannot do this. So I reached out to someone that typically I would not jump to that level. But I wanted a Christmas miracle to happen. And I figured if I don't try again, it just was not going to, meanwhile, by the way, these clients that originally were buying it were no longer going to be buying anything. Right. So it wasn't, this was just the right thing to do.
I'm going to step in and reset real quick. Okay. So they paid $40,000 in a deposit.
Correct.
Financing wasn't going to come through.
Correct.
They were going to lose that $40,000 at a time they really needed it.
Yes.
They were represented by you.
Yes.
The company did not have to do anything, did not have to give back the deposit. They had
told us several times they would not.
And candidly, most companies would not in this situation.
Correct.
At this time. When homes were selling, they might have said, we'll give it back to you because we're going to sell the house for $100,000 more than your contract. Right. Now they're worried they can't sell it. Right. I started the story framed by why do you need a real estate agent, right? So if this person did not have a real estate agent, this is the end of the story. Yeah. Right? This is it.
Correct. Because we'd all already tried to.
And this story for me is about what you just said, where you said, it just didn't sit right with me, so I wanted to push harder for your client, right? The story for me is also about the person on the other end of that call, because they didn't have to do anything.
No, but he called me right away.
Yeah. So you sent an email. Pick up the story. I just wanted to reset.
No. Thank you. So I sent an email to a higher up person in the company, and I apologized for overstepping and reaching out to that person. But I wanted to make sure that they were aware of the situation, because as a company and with all of the experience that I have had in the past with this specific builder, I didn't think that they would also agree that this was the right thing to do once that person was aware, right? And so I sent them an email, and I am not kidding you. I don't even know how they would have had time to read my email before I got a text message from the site agent, who wasn't even copied on the email, saying, so-and-so is getting ready to call you in just a minute, with a happy face. And that person called me, we spoke, and it was perfect. He created the Christmas miracle, and they got their money back. Yeah.
And you cried.
I cried.
A lot.
I'm a cry now.
And they cried.
Yeah.
Well, because, imagine getting the phone call. You've had
a couple days before Christmas.
You've had a few weeks now to go, well, I guess we lost $40,000. In addition to having the struggles with the thing.
And the babies are crying in the background, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, their babies, it's like, it was a wonderful,
I think we're making a conscious effort to not name the company because we don't want people to, because this is not normal.
Right.
But I want to name the company, but not going to.
I know.
But because full credit to them. So
absolutely.
And if they're watching this, and by the way, if you're a client of Amy's, like, we'll tell that story and we'll tell the company when people are considering, should I buy with this builder or that builder? That's going to be a story we tell 1,000 times.
Well,
because they did not have to do that.
They didn't have to. But I will tell you, I mean, I've had builders refund earnest money deposits when candidly, my client put them in a position where they really didn't need to. They would have no reason to do that. But in this case, it was just, I just felt like the higher up person needed to be aware of a decision that was made by the other people beneath them.
You can head out if you want.
Okay. And if they agreed with that decision, then that was okay, but that was going to tell me a lot about that builder, if you know what I mean.
But please don't call your builder Grasshopper Alley. Oh, how cute is that? They have good names here. Citrus Leaf Boulevard.
Silverleaf, cute.
Please don't call your builder or your real estate agent, and don't, if you're one of Amy's clients, don't call Amy and say, well, you did it for them in that case. The point of that story is you'll try.
I do it in every case.
In every case. In this one, it happened to work. And it truly felt like a Christmas miracle. So I wanted to give you some to tell that story, because for me, it's the definitive story of why do you need a real estate agent in new construction? Well, because you need an advocate. You do. You need an advocate. And you did a flipping great job for your client.
And I will say that, I don't want to I just want to show them that these are the models.
Now, it says you should call that number. Should they call that number?
No, please don't call that number. Call me.
407-848.
No, I mean,
I forgot your phone number. It's the new year.
407-848-8042. But the other thing is that thanks to you, all of you watching, all of my clients, past, present, and future, it's because of you that the success that I had.
Yeah.
But I was not afraid in this case to flaunt that a little bit in the email, because it does matter. And they do not want a realtor who sells a mess ton of homes with them to...
Right, but that I want to like you tend to not want to give yourself enough credit for things as the number one realtor in this zip code.
Could you stop?
See, but I think if it was a different realtor, it wouldn't work. Partly because they understand that this is for them. They're going to benefit. They're going to make more than $40,000.
Absolutely, because
we're going to tell that story 1,000 times.
Absolutely.
But also, you sold the exact house.
I know, and that's so what I had to
other clients.
Yeah, so that was really my strongest point, was that not only did I sell it the first time, but I sold it the second time. I brought you cash buyers who could close at the exact same time. There was zero negative effect on the builder. It was like we just slid in a different buyer at the same time. So it just seemed right to refund that first client's earnest money deposit back.
So I want to get back to Silverleaf and Silverleaf Reserve real quick as we because what we didn't do, I put it on the screen. I'm thinking of the future. I know I did it, but we have some indexes that I want to get to for Silverleaf.
Yes. Sorry, we got a little sidetracked.
And I put them on the screen earlier, but I just want to say them.
Okay.
So from here to the airport, 30 minutes-ish, 30 miles-ish, right?
Yep.
To the airport. People always ask, how far is it to the airport?
That's a great location.
How far is it to the nearest Publix?
2.4 miles?
2.4 miles, takes about 4 minutes. In fact, that's where you just head that way.
Okay.
So people always want to know, where's the nearest, well, if you're from out of state, you usually say, where's the nearest shopping, food store?
Right.
Supermarket. I can't think of the name.
Supermarket? Okay. Wow.
But here, it's generally speaking, it's Publix. Yeah. It's kind of a little bit of a monopoly here. So Publix
we have some Winn-Dixies and some Kroger's. But
we always want to consider, for Amy's sake, how close is the nearest Diet Coke? Well, that's right by Publix, so it's also
2.4 miles.
How close is it to Disney?
10 miles?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
9 miles.
9 miles.
Yeah, so Disney's literally, like, you can see some of the buildings in the distance there.
Yeah.
So, and it's only 9 miles. As the crow flies, it's probably 3 miles.
Yeah, exactly. It's very close.
Yeah, but you got to go kind of down and around. But into the back door, we call this I keep saying it because I'm trying to make fetch happen. I'm trying to make it a thing. Okay. We call this Disney's backyard. We call it that in everyday conversation. Yep. So this year, you're going to hear me say a lot, Disney's backyard. And then we always want to give you a place to eat and something to do. So something to do, Orange County National Golf Course is literally right there, 1 minute away.
You've played that course many times,
I have.
and you like it? It's a very good one.
I've played it poorly many times. I've never played it well. Somewhere to eat we're going to come to right now. I just picked Bosphorus, which is Turkish cuisine. Full disclosure,
we haven't been.
I've never eaten there.
I've heard it is amazing.
We probably now, like, we're
not
getting back to
foodies
the
either.
year. Yeah, we're getting back to the year where the kids are back to school, and maybe we'll go because I'm a little bit picky. But and here it is coming up right here.
Yeah.
And then so go to the left and go past, and then go down and make a U-E, because then just go down straight, go straight, and then make a U-E. Because then the other index we want to give you is some nearby fast food options.
Other than the McDonald's.
Other than the McDonald's, which we're always going to get. Well, when we say Diet Coke, we're not talking about Diet Coke, by the way.
No.
We're talking about McDonald's Diet Coke. This is completely different. But if you see...
And that's a shout out to Paul, our friend, who shares with me the obsession and the understanding.
Again, our friend, but also a client, wanted to know how close it is to get a Diet Coke. If you kind of look to the left, I don't know if you can see it, there's a
can see it.
Cement block building right there that's going to be a Taco Bell. But, my friends, that wooden building right there, so you can make a UE. So this is a big deal for any community.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, another thing to do, Sinopolis movie theaters right there.
Yep.
But that wooden building right there that they are working on currently right now, we're recording this on a Saturday, so they're not working on a Sunday. You're not allowed to work on Sunday. Here on construction projects, mostly for the noise. That's a Chick-fil-A. That's what I'm trying to tell you, is that's a Chick-fil-A. And they had to solve a bunch of parking lot issues.
Do you want to go down here and just way I can UE again?
And then the pizza press is there. So again, we're in Hamlin. We've driven you around here a lot. We'll drive you around here more because this is really the centerpiece. Yeah. And if you're just joining us, very often when we say Hamlin, you hear another sound. That one. And that's because every time I hear the word Hamlin, I hear that in my head. By the way, that's Taco Bell right there. There's going to be an AutoZone here. And then just as we wrap up, straight ahead, right there's a big field. There's a permit in. I'll put it on the screen. They show the drawings, but they will not tell us what it's going to be. What is that building, Amy? You know what buildings look like.
I think it looks like a Sam's Club.
It's a Sam's Club. Come on. You're not fooling anybody. Okay. They were trying to tell you to go.
I know. I appreciate it.
We'll wave to them.
Thank you, sir.
But when the building is the land is owned by Walmart, the building looks like a Sam's Club. I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably going to be Sam's Club. Are we excited about that? Yeah, we are. So we're also excited about the new year. We're going to show you lots of communities. We are going to do a Sunday drive every time we can organize it. So we're going to not, in the new year, we're not going to do a Sunday drive if it's just, hey, let's go drive up Avalon Road and chit-chat. I didn't get to my New Year's resolution about, so I'll get to that next time, about my...
baby.
I know, but I have a fat boy scale that I don't do weights, I do names. And currently, just so you know, I'm Fatty Arbuckle. But I have been Boxcar Willie. I'm trying to be Fat Boy Slim. That's my target. I don't have target weights, I have target names. So Fat Boy Slim is where we're headed in the new year. I'll share that with you in the future. Anyway, Skinny Minnie, you can wrap it up.
All right, guys. More than anything, we wish you lots of wonderful, happy health and laughter and love beyond measure in the new year. And we also want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being a part of our lives. Whether we know you, whether we don't, whether you comment, whether we chat, whether you join us on coffee time on Mondays at 9 a.m., whether you are a client past, present, or hopefully future. We just appreciate you so very much, genuinely from the bottom of our hearts. So thank you for joining us on all of these Sunday drives, and we look forward to lots of them in the new year. So happy 2023, everybody. All right. Oh, please stay safe, stay well, and happy house hunting.
Remember, we love you.
We love you.
Do you not love them in the new year?
I do. Please be safe, stay well. Remember, we love you, and happy house hunting.